The hypotenuse is the longest side in the right angle triangle. So in triangle XYZ, angle Y is right angle. The side opposite to angle Y is the hypotenuse. So XZ is the hypotenuse, and XZ is the longest side in that triangle. And if we looked at the second triangle, angle A is right. Angle A is right angle. And the side opposite to angle A is the hypotenuse. So BC is the hypotenuse. And in the first triangle, XZ is the hypotenuse. Remember, the hypotenuse is the longest side in the right angle triangle. If AB equals 3 centimeters and BC equals 4 centimeters, find the length of AC. First and foremost, determine the right angle. Angle B is the right angle, and the side opposite to angle B is the hypotenuse. That's AC. And AC to the power of 2, Pythagoras discovered that AC to the power of 2 equals AB to the power of 2 plus BC to the power of 2. We can find then the length of AC. So AC to the power of 2 equals 3 to the power of 2 raised to the power of 2 plus BC, which is 4 to the power of 2, 9 plus 16 equals 25. So AC equals the square root of 25 equals 5 centimeters. If we have the hypotenuse and we have the length of one of the two sides of the right angle, AB is 3 centimeters, and I want to get BC. You know, AC to the power of 2, the hypotenuse to the power of 2 equals the sum of the two squares of AB and BC. But if I want to get one of the two sides of the right angle here, that's BC here, is one of the two sides of the right angle. So in this case, BC to the power of 2 equals AC to the power of 2 minus the hypotenuse to the power of 2 minus AB to the power of 2. So in this case, BC to the power of 2 equals 5 to the power of 2 minus 3 to the power of 2, 25 minus 9 equals 16. So BC equals the square root of 16 equals 4 centimeters. I want to get AC and AD. So firstly, look at this triangle. This triangle is right at B. So this side is the hypotenuse. So we can find AC by using Pythagoras. AC to the power of 2 equals 3 to the power of 2 plus 4 to the power of 2. 9 plus 16, 25. So AC is the square root of 25 equals 5 centimeters. Then look at the second triangle. This triangle here, which colored in black. This angle is right. So the side opposite to the right angle is the hypotenuse. So DC is the hypotenuse. And the two sides of the right angle, the two sides here are AC and AD. I want to get AD, and AD is one of the two sides of the right angle. So AD to the power of 2, in this case, we will subtract the hypotenuse to the power of 2, 13 to the power of 2 minus 5 to the power of 2. 13 to the power of 2, 169 minus 25 equals 144. So AD equals the square root of 144 equals 12 centimeters. What is the meaning of sine? Sine is the ratio between the opposite and the hypotenuse. If we are talking about a specific angle, like this angle theta, what is the meaning of sine theta? Sine theta means the ratio between the opposite and the hypotenuse in the right angled triangle. Okay. And cosine, the cosine of the angle. What the meaning of cosine theta? Cosine, simply, it's a ratio between the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And tan also is a ratio between the opposite and the adjacent. And remember this word, SOHCAHTOA. So S stands for sine, O opposite, H hypotenuse, K cosine, A adjacent, H hypotenuse, TOA, T stands for tan, O stands for opposite, and A stands for adjacent. Here in this triangle, ABC is right at B, and this side BC 20 and AC 25. I want to get sine C. As I said before, sine means the ratio between the opposite and the hypotenuse. So look at the angle. Determine the angle firstly. We are talking about angle C. I want to get sine C. So sine C equals opposite. The opposite is AB. That's the opposite over the hypotenuse AC. But we don't have the length of AB. This side, the position of this side with respect to C is the opposite. So how can we get AB? We can get AB by using Pythagoras. So AB to the power of 2, AB to the power of 2 equals 25 to the power of 2 minus 20 to the power of 2. 625 minus 400 equals 225. So AB is the square root of 225 is 15 centimeters. Once again, what is the meaning of sine C? The ratio between the opposite and the hypotenuse. So the opposite here is 15 and the hypotenuse is 25. So equals 15 divided by 25. We can simplify it, divided by 5, 3, and divided by 5, 5. So it's 3 over 5. I want to get 10A. So determine the angle first. We are talking about angle A. In this case, we are talking about angle A. 10A. Look at angle A. We are talking about this angle. So in this case, what's the meaning of tan? The opposite over adjacent. What is the opposite to A? The opposite in this case, this side is the opposite. Opposite to A. So 10A equals opposite over adjacent equals 20 over 15. Once again, 10A, opposite over adjacent. Opposite is 20, adjacent is 15. We can simplify, divided by 5, 4, and divided by 5, 3. I want to get cosine C. Determine the angle. Now we are talking about angle C. So cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. This side is the adjacent here. BC is the adjacent side. This side is the adjacent to C. I'm talking about cosine C. So this side is the adjacent. So 20 over hypotenuse 25. Simplify, divided by 5, 4, and divided by 5, 5. That's it. Prove that tan theta equals sine theta over cosine theta. We are talking in general. You know, tan theta in general equals opposite over adjacent. And sine theta over cosine theta. Sine theta divided by cosine theta. Sine equals opposite over hypotenuse divided by cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Deal with them as dividing fractions, keep change flip. So opposite over hypotenuse, change in times. So times hypotenuse over adjacent. We have hypotenuse here at the top, hypotenuse at the bottom, cancel them out. We are left with opposite over adjacent, and opposite over adjacent equals tan theta. So sine theta divided by cosine theta is the same as tan theta. Construct a right angled triangle with angle 30. After constructing the triangle, you will find the length of the side opposite to angle of size 30 equals always half length of the hypotenuse. This side is the opposite side. This side here is the opposite side. You will find this side always equals half length of the hypotenuse. So if you assumed that this side is 1, why did I assume 1? Because 1 is the simplest number we can take in ratios. So if you assumed this side 1, you would get 2 here in the hypotenuse because it's a ratio. The length of the opposite side always half length equals half length of the hypotenuse. We can get this side by using Pythagoras. You know, x to the power of 2, in this case, you will subtract 2 to the power of 2 minus 1 to the power of 2. 4 minus 1 equals 3. So x equals the square root of 3. Now we can find sine 30, cosine 30, and tan 30. Sine 30 equals opposite over hypotenuse. Determine the angle we are talking about. We are talking about this angle here. Which side is the opposite? This side is the opposite. And which side is the hypotenuse? This side. And this side is the adjacent side. So sine 30 equals opposite over hypotenuse equals 1 over 2. Cosine 30 adjacent over hypotenuse root 3 over 2. And tan 30, we are talking about this angle. Tan equals opposite over adjacent. So it's 1 over root 3. You know, in a triangle, the three angles of any triangle add up to 180. So this angle is 90. This angle is 30. So we can get this angle. This angle equals 60. Okay. If we want to find sine 60, cosine 60, and tan 60, determine the angle we are talking about. We are talking about this angle 60. Okay. So in this case, determine the opposite to 60. This side is the opposite to 60. And 1 in this case is the adjacent to 60, the adjacent to angle 60. And 2 is the hypotenuse. Sine 60 equals opposite over hypotenuse. It's root 3 over 2. And cosine 60 is the adjacent over hypotenuse. It's 1 over 2. And the tan 60, tan equals opposite over adjacent equals root 3 over 1. Opposite. The opposite is root 3 and the adjacent is 1. And the square root of 3 over 1, it will be root 3. Construct a right angle triangle with angle 45. You know the triangle is 180. The three angles add up to 180. So if you have angle of size 90 and an angle of size 45, you will get the third angle, which will be 45. And the triangle is an isosceles triangle. In the isosceles triangle, the two sides are equal. So this side here is equal in length to this side. So if you assume that this side is 1 and this side will be 1, why did I choose 1? Because 1 is the simplest number in ratios we can take. Then we can get this side by using Pythagoras. X to the power of 2 equals 1 to the power of 2 plus 1 to the power of 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So x equals the square root of 2. Great. I want to get sine 45, cosine 45, and tan 45. Which 45 we are going to take? We are going to take any one of them. So determine the angle. That's the angle, or this angle, one of them. Sine opposite over hypotenuse. The opposite is 1 and the hypotenuse is a square root of 2. Cosine adjacent over hypotenuse, it's 1 over the square root of 2. And tan 45 equals opposite over adjacent. The opposite is 1 and the adjacent is 1. So tan 45 equals 1 over 1, which is 1. Here is the table. Just to remember about, but please don't memorize. I recommend strongly to draw the triangle of size of angles 90 and 30 and put here 1, you will get by side. By side the hypotenuse is 2, and this side by using Pythagoras the square root of 3, and draw this triangle of angles 90, 45, and 45. By side you will get this angle is the same as this side, so put 1 and 1, then get this side the hypotenuse by using Pythagoras. It will be the square root of 2. Just keep your eye on these two triangles and don't memorize. I mean by don't memorize, don't keep them as information. No, just draw the triangles, the two triangles, then deduce them. Use trigonometry to find the length of AB. Look at the angle we have. We have this angle. This angle here is 70. That's the angle we have. Look at the side we need to find. We need to get this angle. And this angle, what is the position of this angle with respect to angle 70? It's the opposite. Look at the angle we have. We have this side, is the adjacent. So we have an angle. We need to get the opposite, and we have the adjacent. Which trigonometric function has opposite and adjacent? It's tan. So tan 70 equals opposite, it's AB, over adjacent, it's BC. You know what is tan 70? Tan angle C. Tan C equals opposite over adjacent. So tan 70, angle C equals 70, equals AB. We don't know AB, and BC equals 5 centimeters. We need to get AB, so change the subject to make AB the subject. So multiply by 5 here and multiply by 5 here. Cancel 5 and 5. So AB equals 5 multiplied by tan 70. So 5 times, write on the calculator, 5 times tan 70, it will be 13. So AB equals 13.7 centimeters to the nearest 3 significant figures. Here in this triangle, this angle is 43 and this side is 8, and we want to get AC. So determine the angle we have. We have this angle 43. And also we have the adjacent side. AB is the adjacent side. AB equals 8. This side is the adjacent side. And we need to get the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse here, it's AC. That's the hypotenuse. Which trigonometric function we are going to use? We are going to use cosine. So cosine 43 equals adjacent AB over hypotenuse AC. So cosine 43 equals AB, it's 8 over AC. I want to get AC. Change the subject, make AC the subject. So how can we change the subject? By multiplying by AC both sides. Cancel them out. So AC multiplied by cosine 45 equals 8. Then divide by cosine 45 here and divide here by cosine 45. So AC equals 8 divided by, sorry, it's 43, not 45. 43 here. I made a mistake. It's 43 and here 43. So divide 8 by cosine 43. By using the calculator, write 5 divided by cosine, write 43 and close the bracket. It will be AC equals, do it, 8 divided by cosine 43. It will be to the nearest 3 significant figures. It equals 10.9 centimeters. Find the size of angle C. So that's the angle we want to find. We need to get angle C. Determine the sides you have. We have AB, the opposite. We know the opposite side. the opposite to angle C. And also, we know the hypotenuse. Which function, which trigonometric function had the opposite and the hypotenuse? It's a sine. So write sine C equals opposite over hypotenuse 3 over 7. How can we get angle C? Just click on the calculator to get angle C. Click on the calculator, shift sine. And the meaning of click and shift sign means you are asking about the angle, which sign, which it's sine 3 over 7. So angle C equals shift sign. You will find something written on the calculator, sine raised to the power of -1, 3 over 7. That's the inverse function. So click shift sign and then write 3 over 7 here. 3 over 7. You will get an angle to the nearest 3 significant figures. You will get an angle of size 25.4 degrees. That's it. Don't forget, when the question asking about the angle, click shift sign. Click shift sign. If you want to get an angle, click shift sign or shift cosine or shift tan. Here in this example, I want to get the length BD, this side here. I want to get BD. So look at this triangle, which colored in red. We have an angle of size 38. And this side is the opposite. This side is the opposite. And also we have the hypotenuse. So you will use sine 38. Sine equals opposite, it's BD, over the hypotenuse 28.5. Make BD the subject. So multiply by 28.5 and here multiply by 28.5. Cancel them out. So BD equals 28 by using the calculator. 28.5 multiplied by sine 38 to the nearest 3 significant figures. So BD equals 17.5 centimeters. That's the length. Don't click shift, because clicking shift means you are asking about an angle. You want to get an angle, but in this case, I want to get the length of the side. So this side is 17.5. I want to get angle BCD, this angle here. So in this case, we will click shift. Look at this triangle, which colored in yellow, this triangle. Okay. We have an angle of size, we have the opposite side, it's 17.5. That's the opposite to this angle. And we have the adjacent. This side is the adjacent. And we are asking about this angle. So we'll use 10. 10, 40, 10, angle C. Then angle C.